Hi, this is the video for day number 84. Today we're talking about what are dilations. Remember, all of these worksheets can be printed off on my website, mrsrumbos.woobly.com. All right, so today we're only talking about dilations. So yesterday you learned about rotations and dilations. Today we're only focusing dilations and how to do them on a graph. So here we go. A dilation is a change in size. Remember, this is the only one where it's an actual change in size. The image is similar, but not congruent. Okay, so that means same shape, different size. So same shape, different size. Okay, yesterday we also talked about scale factor. Remember, when you have that capital letter D and that little lowercase, or that little subscript, I should say, that's going to be your scale factor. Sometimes instead of a number, they actually put like a K as their symbol, but they both, the number or the K, eventually be filled in with a number anyway. Remember, we talked about it being an enlargement. If you multiply by something bigger than 1, obviously the number gets bigger. If you multiply by something between 0 and 1, it's going to get smaller. We call that a reduction. All right, so that is the little bit of, oh, you can see that these are dilations too. It just gets bigger and bigger. All shapes, all circles, same shape, all circles, just different sizes. Okay, so now we're going to start going on the graph. So first thing we want to do is plot the original points. So you have 2, 2 is point A, 4, 2 is point B, and 2, 4 is point C. Make sure you connect those dots. Make sure those dots have a capital letter on them. Very, very important. All right, that wasn't bad. Now we want to graph A prime, B prime, C prime, the image of triangle ABC, after a dilation of K equals 2. So again, this is your scale factor. Okay, so instead of giving, you know, D of 2, they might just say, they might have a K. It all means the same exact thing. It just means to multiply by 2. Remember, D is distribution. That means to multiply. Now D is dilation. That means to multiply. So you can take all these original numbers here and multiply by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. That wasn't that bad, right? Okay, so now just plot them. 4, 4 is A prime. 8, 4 is B prime. And 4, 8 is C prime. Okay, so this is your original. This was that part A that they wanted you to do. Then you have your new image. That's part B. Okay, this is your enlargement after a scale factor of 2. All right, then we got one more to go. Now I'm going to do double prime, and our scale factor this time. Our scale factor this time is 1/2. So I automatically know this is going to get smaller. Okay, right? Multiplying by cutting something in half is going to make it smaller. And notice we are going back to our original numbers. So 1/2 of 2 is 1, 1/2 of 2 is 1. 4 times a half, remember, if you forget, you have that ABC button. So 4 times 1 ABC 2, that's going to get you 2. Okay, so 2 times a half is 1, 2 times a half is 1, and 4 times a half is 2. All right, so now we're going to graph the double prime. So 1, 1 is A double prime. 2, 1 is B double prime, and 1, 2 is C double prime. So it's a little baby triangle. And this one, again, is a reduction. This is part C. And there you go. Those are those 3. So you have your original, you have an enlargement by 2, and a reduction by 1/2. So not too bad. Okay, next question. The table below shows the coordinates of triangle RST. So you have RST and the coordinates of R prime, so just one of them. And this is, they're saying it's dilation. Okay, so automatically when you see dilation, okay, you are thinking in your mind multiply. So you know something got multiplied. Okay, so let's see. They want us to get the coordinates of these ones, and then it wants us to graph the original and the image. All right, so let's see. Negative 2 times what is negative 6? Negative 2 times what is negative 9? Now that something has to be the same exact number. So negative 2 times what is negative 6? Well, if you're not sure, just do the reverse, do the inverse. Take the answer of negative 6 and divide it by the original negative 2. So take the original, or the image of negative 6, the original of negative 2, and do the opposite, divide them. Well, it's 3, which is true. Negative 2 times 3 is 6, negative 6, and negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Now apply that same rule to this. 0 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3, wait, try that again. Sorry, that's 0. 0 times 3 is 0, 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6, negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. So we have 0, 6, and 6, negative 9. 0, 6, and 6, negative 9. All right, so now we're going to graph our original. I'm taking the points right from up here, okay, right from up there. So the first one is, can you see this graph? The first one is negative 2, negative 3. That's point R. And then 0 and 2 is up here. Your 2 is Y. Okay, so that's going to be up here. And then 2, negative 3 is right here. So this is your original. That's your original. And then we have the image. Again, I'm getting my points right from up here. We multiplied all these by 3. So that's negative 6, negative 9. That's R prime. 0, 6 is S prime. So 6 is up here, okay? It's got to be a Y. This is in the Y section, so it's got to be in the Y. And then 6, negative 9 is T prime. And I'm going to connect them. Wish I had a ruler. And now we have the image. So you could tell it's an enlargement, but you know it's going to be an enlargement from the beginning because you're multiplying by something bigger than 3. And you're multiplying by that number 3. Hopefully this is not too bad for you guys. All right, so it's going to get a smidge more difficult, but you guys can do it. I know it. So we're going to start with graph triangle RST. So we're going to graph these original points right here. So 1, 1 is R, 3, 1 is S, and 2, 3 is T. It's kind of hard to see this, sorry. Okay. Now it says graph the image of triangle RST after a dilation. So you see the dilation, you know, and you think multiply. Okay, you know you're thinking multiply. So this is basically just the way of them telling you to multiply. Notice they put 2 with the X and 2 with the Y. So think of what I normally ask you with these kind of things. What connects the 2 and the X? Well, you would normally tell me it's multiplication. So same exact thing. So basically it's telling you that the scale factor is 2. Scale factor equals 2. So instead of them writing it in words, they're going to write it in symbol form. So 2x, 2y, the scale factor is 2. So multiply by 2. Okay, if this was 5x and 5y, you multiply by 5. If it was 3x and 3y, you multiply by 3. It was a half x, half y, you multiply by half. Those numbers will always be the same in front, and they just represent the scale factor. All right, so just multiply by 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. And that's it. So now we're just going to graph. So 2, 2, that's R prime. 6, 2 is S prime. 4, 6 is T prime. Notice this did get larger because you are multiplying by something that is bigger than 1. Okay, so you have your original, you have your image, and this would be multiplied by 2. So hopefully that's not that bad. Again, I got the 2's from that right there. Okay, next. You guys are doing good. Keep up the good work. So you have, starting off again, this is how it usually starts off. Graph an original. This is how your final will be as well. So graph these originals. So negative 3, negative 2 is A, 2 and 3 is B, and 2, negative 2 is C. So I guess it kind of looks like a right triangle. All right. So on graph paper, draw and label triangle ABC. Graph and safety guards on the image. Okay, so we want an image. And we want to do the same exact thing. Oh, this got cut off when I printed it out. Sorry. The same thing as before. This kind of like symbol form. What this means, this whole entire thing means scale factor of 3. Again, scale factor means multiply by 3. So you've seen this entire packet. All we've been doing is multiplying by 3. That is it. Okay, so if we take -3 times 3, we're going to get -9. -2 times 3 is -6. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. -2 times 3 is -6. Okay, so we're going to take those points, and now we're going to plot our image. Okay, so we have -9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -6, that's A prime. Then we have 6, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's B prime. Don't forget those primes. And then 6 and -6 is C prime. So this is your enlargement. And I'll highlight it so you can see it. And there is your enlargement. All right, so there's one more little extra piece on here, and that's explain how you determine the coordinates of C prime. So remember, there's always those 3 kind of things that you want to say. So this time we're not really describing it. So we're not saying, describing what a dilation is. We're not saying large or smaller, but we're saying what we actually did this time. So what do we do? How do we get this coordinate? Well, you took the original coordinate, C, 2, -2. You multiplied it by 3, the scale factor of 3, and then you got 6, -6. So that's really about it. So I multiplied, that's important, C, which is 2, -2, by the scale factor of 3 to get C prime, which is 6, -6. So you want to say multiplied. You want to say what you're multiplying by, so scale factor of 3, and then you have to put these in here because they specifically want to know about that coordinate. If you talk about any other coordinate, if you don't talk about any coordinate at all, then, well, that's not going to be good. So you want to have all that in there. All right, and the last one is just some quick little multiple choice questions, part 1, so no graphing at all. So let's see what we have. So if R prime 6, 3 is the image of R21, under dilation with respect to the origin, it's usually always to the origin. That's how we usually do it in 8th grade. What is the constant of dilation? So basically, the constant of dilation, they're asking for that K. They're asking for the scale factor. So how do we go from 2, 1 to 6, 3? Notice I put this one first. Okay, you guys should know by now that R prime is seconds. Okay, so how does 2, 1 become 6, 3? Remember, scale factor is multiply. So what did I actually, multiply these by to get this? Well, they're both multiplied by 3. Number 2, under dilation with respect to the origin, see that again? The image of A, which is 1, 2, is 5, 10. Under the same dilation, what are the coordinates of B prime? The image of 0, 3. Okay, so first we start with, well, how did I go from 1, 2 to 5, 10? What did I multiply both of those by? Okay, if you're not sure, do the inverse. 5 divided by 1 is 5. So I multiply both of these by 5. Once you figure that out, well, then you know your scale factor. You know your scale factor is 5. That little, number down here is 5. So now just apply that to 0, -3. Multiply this by 5 and multiply this by 5. And you get your answer of 0, -15. Number 3, under the dilation, constant dilation. Under a dilation with constant of dilation K, the image of point 2, 3 is 8, 12. What's the value of K? So again, it wants to know that little number. It wants to know that scale factor. What did you multiply 2 and 3 by to get it to be 8 and 12? It has to be the same number. And that will be 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. All right, number 4, size not preserved. We talked about this in yesterday's lesson. So not the same size. Okay, Preserved means kind of stay the same. So which one's not staying the same? That is dilations, the only one where size changes. All right, number 5, little a to big A. Dilation is the only one that size changes. All right, find the image of 3, -2 under the dilation of D2. Remember that little 2 right there is your scale factor, and that is what you multiply by. So 3, -2, multiply this by 2, multiply this by 2, and you get 6, -4. And last but not least, the best description of dilation. Remember, it's the only one that gets bigger and smaller, and you have to multiply. So a turn, nope, that would be rotation. A slide, nope, that would be translation. Enlargement or reduction, there we go. And mirror image is your reflection. All right, so that's the last question there. This is your homework tonight, okay? It's on my website. You're going to post this on Google Classroom for me. Basically, for each one, you want to draw the given transformation of each figure. So first of all, I wrote these here for you just to kind of like make it easy for you. You want to get the coordinate of each one of these. Once you get the coordinates, put them here. Then you're going to use your scale factor of that, which don't forget is multiply. You're going to multiply every single one of these coordinates to get the new coordinates. Once you get the image, then go ahead and graph that. Okay, so coordinates, multiply by half, new coordinates, graph the new coordinates. And the same thing here. Get those 4 coordinates. Scale factor means multiply by 2. Get your new coordinates, and then take all 4 of those and plot the new ones. All right, hope that helps, and have a great night.